man, we all make mistakes in life, but the mistakes doesn't define who you are. The mistakes that we make in life, they refine you. They prepare you for, the journey, what's ahead. And God's in control of everything. And when he allows these situations to take place so it can mold and shape you, and there's some things that he's trying to work out of you so he can work through you.
Jermaine, man, thanks for being here, dude. I'm excited, man. This is round 2. We have one buddy, Chris, I think he's been part of at least 2 conversations. So this is like you're in rare air here, man. This is like we want to hear more of your voice.
Okay.
So, thank you for being here with us, bro.
Yeah. Well, it's an honor to be here. I'm definitely appreciative of the opportunity, to share my story, testimony, and I'm just hoping and pray that it blesses someone.
Yeah, bro. Thank you, man. Thank you. So, first off, we're in Leavenworth. This is Roseland's.
Yes,
That's
sir.
where we are. Authentic New York food in Leavenworth, in the middle of the country. Roseland's. Check it out if you're in Leavenworth at all. But yeah, man. So, what are you up to these days, man? You got a campaign going on right now?
Yeah, so I'm currently in the middle of a campaign right now, running for city council. This is my second term. I actually came in first place in the primaries. All praises to God. And then I've also just recently joined Prison Fellowship Ministries.
Cool,
and
man.
I was actually serving there for 2 months. I was hired as a field director, and God promoted me to the regional director position.
Dude, yeah, man, that's so cool. That, I'd like to, if it's cool, let's lean in there, man.
Okay, yeah.
Because the city commissioner, man, I hope we get to have a bunch of conversations with you about that travel too, man. But what's it called? Your prison
Fellowship Ministry, yes, sir.
Prison Fellowship.
So it was actually started by Chuck Colson. I want to say, back in the 1970s. Are you familiar with the Watergate scandal?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's
a little bit, yeah.
So he was actually incarcerated, and during that, prior to his incarceration, he got saved. And when he actually went up to the court, he was getting ready to get sentenced. He confessed that, he became a believer. So he took ownership of his action. I want to say he did between 7 to 9 months in prison. But that was during that time when God was really speaking to him. And, as he was getting ready to exit out, some of the guys were like, are you going to forget about us when you leave here? And he said, I'm not. And so once he got outside the 4 walls, that's when God gave him the vision, to be able to reach back inside and help restore those that have been affected by crime and incarceration.
Dude, and that hits home for you, right?
Yes, sir.
Was it without asking you to share the whole thing, speak to that a little bit if you would, man.
And so, prior to me even getting involved in politics, I was actually lost searching for an identity. And, it led to my troubled teenage years, from my teenage years of committing life and crime to my adulthood, just involved off in the heavy drug usage, and then started selling drugs. I was trying to please everybody else, and I lost my true identity. And so just that road of temptation and lust led me into prison based upon my poor decision making. And now that I'm in prison, I have a son that's 8 months old who needs his father. And what am I going to do? What can I provide him? Because this lifestyle that I'm living, I cannot give this to him. And if I want something different, I have to do something different. And I realized at that moment, I had tried everything in life and had failed. But there was one thing that I didn't try, and that was Jesus. And when I tried Jesus, that's when he got a hold of my life and saved me. Man,
and you happened to be, I don't know if it was the whole time, but it was a portion of time, you were bunkmates or cellmates with a good friend, that man over there, Mr. Daniel Smith, right?
Yeah. So Daniel knew me back in my heydays in juvenile years.
Okay.
But he always gave me words of encouragement and just say, hey, you're better than this. There's so much potential in you. And so we had prepared for success prior to, us getting released. But once, he left, that positive role model that I had in my life wasn't there.
Hmm.
So I seen destruction and I focused on the destruction. I prepared for it. When those doors opened up, that's when I led into that destruction. I gave in.
Man, okay, cool. Thank you for sharing that. Like like that name Chuck Colson, man. Like so that a mentor of mine, Charlie Blair, is a Chuck Colson. Like he loves Chuck Colson.
Yeah.
You know? And he actually. So I mean, he's probably connected to that ministry actually because he's ministered to people in incarceration for years now, and I'd be curious to know if like you guys have ever crossed paths. But, like let's talk, man. Like so tell me, how do you navigate the prison fellowship?
Yeah, and so just to give you a quick history, so it all came into full circle. So the program that I'm actually serving with now, an employee, is the same program that I went through 13 years ago inside of Lansing Correctional Facility. And our main objective is to establish academies. It's cognitive behavior development training courses that is value-based program to teach individuals life skills, have to help individuals transform their mindset from criminal thinking to critical thinking.
Man.
How do you become a good citizen, not once you get out, but when you're currently in prison right now, because we want to help change the culture of the institution.
Yes.
And with that, we provide hope events where we bring in keynote speakers to share words of inspiration. We have mentors. We're doing everything that we can to help serve the men and women who are incarcerated. So the change starts from inside, and then it transitions to the outside, the four walls, because you have to come from within. If you don't come from within, you're going to go without. Amen. So Truth to Change starts right now at this moment, no matter where you're at in life.
Man, that's huge. I have a buddy of mine, Ben, who's incarcerated in Winfield right now, and he's going through like so before he went in, he had a spiritual awakening. He went in and he was talking about like something when you're speaking that transformation of the mind and the heart. Like I'm reminded of Romans 12:2, right?
Yep.
Like be transformed by the renewal of your mind.
Yep.
Like, and that happens like. You actually said this before we started rolling, man. Like today is the day of salvation.
Yeah.
Today is the day of salvation.
Yeah.
Like my buddy Ben went in there and he was talking. He called one is on a Sunday, and he called his mom while she was in service, and I got a chance to talk to him on the phone right before service started, and he was just sharing with me about like the Spirit breaking loose and like people studying the Word together in incarceration. And like the freedom that was coming in jail cells, man. Like, and he's like, people on the outside need to know what this freedom looks like. That blew my mind, dude. So like what you're partnering with, man, is like, and what you're leading out in, and like who you are, dude. Like a couple things. I don't want to blab too much, but like one word that comes to mind is generational, like breaking off generational curse. So like you said something about I don't want to pass that brokenness down to my son. And like you connected to the Father who is unbreakable, unshakable, like unsinkable. You connected to him, and he became your inheritance that you passed down, man. And like, and not just for your own son, but that like I just see the beauty of what unraveled there, man. Like what's happening now, who you are in Leavenworth, and just like talk a little bit more. I'm gonna start getting excited and talking all over the place.
And so I just always want to encourage people, man. We all make mistakes in life, but the mistakes doesn't define who you are. The mistakes that we make in life, they refine you. They prepare you for, the journey, what's ahead. And God's in control of everything. And when he allows these situations to take place so it can mold and shape you, and there's some things that he's trying to work out of you so he can work through you. And that's one thing that I realized. Prison was one of the best things that ever happened to me in my life. It gave me that opportunity to think. And now the life that I'm living now, some people will say that it's successful because of the positions that I have.
Sure.
I just say, man, I'm just a servant of God, and I understand my purpose. That's true success, understanding who you are and why you was created.
Yes, man.
Fulfilling your purpose in life.
It's humility too.
Yeah, big time. Yeah. The position doesn't make the leader makes a position.
So good.
And as long as God's hand is upon you in everything that you do, you're going to excel in everything. Wherever you put your hands to, you shall prosper. Wherever you place your feet, you shall take over the land. And I'm just in the will of God doing what he's called me to do.
Man, I'm about to go through the table, man. I'm so excited, like for real, dude. Like I'm like as you're talking, I'm thinking of Joseph, I mean, the same story, bro.
Yeah.
Like going from that position, being forgotten about, influencing and impacting for the kingdom of heaven, a whole country, dude, like this is step one, man. You're a young guy, dude. Like this is step one. I can't wait to see what the Lord's gonna do through you, man. Like, how can we partner with or promote or how can we connect with Prison Fellowship?
Well, so with Prison Fellowship, man, we're always looking for some volunteers. If you're interested in volunteer, going inside of the institution to help teach the academy, or you're more than welcome to donate to Prison Fellowship as well. But I always tell people, man, the best gift that you can give Prison Fellowship is prayer and time. These are the things that is needed the most that help keep the ministry moving forward. And then also, when it comes to your own community, learn how to navigate and take control and ownership of the conversations when people talk about individuals who are returning citizens that have criminal backgrounds. Don't look at these individuals as convicts, as felons. They are people.
So good.
And so once you realize these are human beings who made a mistake, broke the law, and now they're incarcerated, they're coming back home. Amen. Over 97% of the people that are incarcerated are coming back home. And I have this, my mindset, this philosophy: if you're not helping people, then you're hurting people. So what are we going to do as a community and as a whole to help prepare these returning citizens, because they're coming back home?
So good, man. So good. Like that reminds me of, there's a concept like in reference to family, but I mean, it speaks to society as well. Correct. It's like this group identity. This is who we are, and this is why we do it, and this is how we go about doing that. But man, there's like, that has to be established, and that has to be recognized by people that are, so like when someone makes a mistake, man, we don't ostracise and cut them off, right?
Yes, sir.
Like, it's like, let's do this together.
Yeah.
It has to do with this familial approach, man. Like we're in this together. Yeah. And that can be said about a lot of things, I think, especially in the time period we're living in, we're doing this together. I think it doesn't mean that we are the same person. It means we share the space. And like anyway, I think there's more conversation to be had in that, like with you, man. I'd love to talk with you about that. But I also wanted to ask about you're an author.
Yes, sir.
As well.
Yeah.
Like, so we don't have long, but dude, share about what you're working on, man.
So this upcoming December, Jermaine Wilson, his autobiography is going to be released. It's going to be called From Lawbreaker to Lawmaker. Who would imagine the title? Yeah, man. But it's the whole life story. For those individuals who have followed me on social media sites and seen my story on Good Morning America, those is only small pieces of my story. But with the autobiography, you get a chance to experience, the real, the raw, but overall the grace of God. And what helped me to get to where I'm at today. And it was nothing but God. So with God, all things are possible to those who believe. Always remember that.
Dude, it's so good. Jermaine, thank you, bro. Thank you
for doing this, man.
Dude, what a blessing, man. What a blessing. Special thank you to Glenn as well. Glenn at Roselands. Bless you guys.